How to improve listening skills? The way to listen well is simply when we try to listen, it means we focus on spoken language. Rather than studying language, we need to speak languages, the target language. I learned Vietnamese, and I speak Vietnamese, even though I cannot speak Vietnamese. What it means? It's the same. I listen Vietnamese, even though I cannot listen Vietnamese. This is simply um, we try to do better, but we cannot do. If we can do, we don't have to do. It's simply so and then needs to listening skill, improve listening skill because we cannot listen. But and from beginners to intermediate level, and their secret to improve listening remarkably. It means just like what I'm talking here, it's also one of it to improve. But the listening, and there are two kind of main points in listenings. The one is vocabulary. Let's think about it. I've listened and then the Vietnam innovator, and there are two guys interviewing together, and they talk in Vietnamese. And then I have two options. I just listen to them, or and then I can listen with the subtitles, which is better, which can comprehensible. With the subtitle, yeah, it's much more comprehensible. Without subtitle, not easy to listen. Okay, so why I'm talking about one is vocabulary. To understand about vocabulary or phrase and sentence itself or the story, what I catch what they are talking. The vocabulary is matter, so to listen well. You know what? And you cannot catch them in vocabulary. If you listen to your level, like a beginner level, intermediate level, you can catch almost words or expressions. But randomly, you watch news on YouTube or the watching drama or some comedy or shorts, they use high recommended words in their communication to express. They are not childish. They are adults. They talk in good expression. Just think you think about your own languages. When you talk with your friend, or when you talk with people who are some interested in specific area and they are specialists, and then you involved in talking with them, and then what can you use words, phrase, or sentence or stories? You try to express your own idea better than others. Then you choose high level word and phrases and sentences if possible. It means someone who speak native languages, they choose high level words, phrases, and sentences. It means as a foreign learners, it cannot catch up. Very difficult to catch up what they are talking. So there's one reason. The specific reason is so you cannot catch up the vocabulary. So how much you understand, how much you can guess what they are talking, not all. This is one of the vocabulary matter. And then the other is actually like listening to songs. And then that is a unique way. We have a obstacle in learning listening and speaking. That is pronunciation or specific way to speak and with some words. combination. Each language has a unique pattern, unique way about the pronunciation. The group of word languages have a good uh, pronunciation, some similar, but not all the similar. Uh, let's think about the pronunciation. If you listen, you cannot listen. If you speak, you cannot speak well. What's matter? Pronunciation is sometimes matter. Even though you don't know some vocabulary, you can catch it and then you can keep in memory. You can, your brain and keep in memory with some words and express just like native speakers say. But you cannot catch them because you cannot get the good pronunciation. And even you listen and listen, you cannot catch it. The people say the words or some expression in native language and their habit is very unique. So you need to catch up them, the pronunciation, what they are talking, and then catch up the speed or pronunciation well. And then you can much more expand your listening or speaking in good pronunciation. By doing that, you can communicate with people. In fact, when I ask something and then people say, I don't understand what you're talking about. If I don't ask and then just listen, oh, your pronunciation is good. What's the matter with that? That is, if we are involved with the question and answer, then question is very important. If we are not involved with the question and answer, just talking and then listen, and that's all. It's good. Even though we don't understand what they are talking about, no problem with that. But when I ask some question in Vietnamese or Tagalog, foreign language, if they cannot catch it, the meaning, how can they answer? So, and then they say, I don't understand what you are talking about. Speak again or something. Or I don't mind what you're talking. I don't want to answer. I don't want to involved in something like that. And then, okay. So there's two ways important, vocabulary and pronunciation. Today, I talk about how to listen well and from beginners to intermediate level. And then two is a big option about it. I keep talking about how to improve foreign languages, so many ways, and then hope to get. Uh, for example, I use Jalo to learn Vietnamese and focusing on the listening and speaking. That is a good way, intensive way. I've been learning almost one month, one mostly effective way. And then here's the one solution. Don't study language, just speak languages. And then you are not native speakers. If you study language, you can uh, expand your knowledge. But for example, yes, when we have school days, we study the native languages, like we learn Korean. We learn about Korean, the languages, not only languages, but also like spirits or the some of the language literature or some art, all the things in languages in its many ways expanded. So and then after you speak the language, it means that after you listen the language, then you start studying. So focus on spoken languages. This is a good way to learn. I I got a turning point to learn 1 year. That is a big turning point. I realized I cannot listen and I cannot speak in good pronunciation, even though I studied 1 year with AI. I expanded the knowledge a lot. I communicate with the language partners very well. But my result, I can study in 3 years. I can catch up the second level. But if I keep studying language, I cannot catch it. I cannot get to the level of communication level because I cannot listen. When I speak, they don't understand. People don't understand because I don't have good pronunciation. So I decided to. I focus on spoken languages. So now this is a good tool. I'm writing. It's a not written language. I speak. It's a spoken language, but one more options. Yeah, this is and then one stone catch two birds. Okay, now I'll talk about how to improve listening skill. Well, then I can get some make new content from my uh, content. Let me see. I talk almost 3 or 4 pages, and then I can catch and copy, and then let's see. Uh, In English, my content show how to improve listening skill, the focusing on spoken language with expanding the vocabulary and having good pronunciation after reading with. I got it. Translate into Korean and Vietnamese above. Translate into Turkish above. Now I get some contents for summarize it. Then I always feeling about the summary from AI. It make me ideas confident and well organized. AI have a function to well organized. Got it. You share along about how to improve listening skill in foreign languages, but it's quite unstructured and repetitive right now. I can have you rely clearly in English, so it's easier to read, and then we can also make shorter version. I could put blog posts, videos, or study notes. Here's a clean up and the structured version of what you wrote. How to improve your listening skill in a foreign language. Improving listening skills is one of the hardest parts of language learning. Many learners study for years but still struggle to understand when native speakers talk naturally. From my experience, there are two main keys to improving listening vocabulary. Listening is not just about hearing sounds, it's about understanding them. If you know vocabulary, you can guess the meaning of the story, the situation of the sentence. If you don't know the vocabulary, even if you hear the sounds clearly, you cannot understand. Native speakers use advanced word and natural expression. This is why beginners find it so hard to understand TV show news or casual conversation. Build your vocabulary step by step. Listen to content at your level, and but also expose yourself to slightly harder content so you can catch new words in new situation. Pronunciation. Another big obstacle is pronunciation. If you cannot recognize how a word is pronounced, you cannot catch it when you sing. If your own pronunciation is poor, other people may not understand when you speak. Even if you don't know the exact meaning of a word, sometimes you can remember. Repeat it if you catch the sound and rhythm. Train your ear with song, shadowing exercise, or repeating after native speakers, matching their speed. Stress and pronunciation will improve both listening and speaking. Practical advice. Focus on spoken language, not just written language. Reading textbook alone is not enough. Don't only study the language, use it. Speaking, listening, and repeating are more powerful than memorizing grammar. Tools like AI, app, and language exchange platform, English, Yellow, WhatsApp, etc., can help you listen and speak more every day. Accept that at first you may not understand everything. That's normal. Keep listening, keep repeating. And little by little, you will catch more words and press my turning point. I studied a foreign language for 1 year with AI, but still couldn't understand or be understood. Then I realized the problem. I was studying about the language instead of focusing on speaking and listening. Once I changed my approach, focusing on spoken language and pronunciation, my listening started to improve. So, improve listening skill, you need two things: vocabulary, knowledge to understand meaning, good pronunciation to recognize and reproduce sounds. Don't just study the language, live in it, listen to it, and speak it every day. Okay, too much.